Hello fellow masochists. Today, I think I'll call myself Jack and inform you of an idea theft that I have committed. Before I get too far down this dirt tangent road like I usually do, hitting every pothole and dirt mound along the way before accidentally stumbling my way back to the central sensical street, I'll cut to the chase. I stole this idea from LobosJr. He probably wasn't the first, he definitely wasn't the last, but he was the first content creator I watched that did a run like this back in the days of Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and the DLCs in between, and I'd like to try my hand at it. So today, I propose a question. Can you beat Elden Ring using randomized items? Are you kidding? Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. It's been done in the other games before, but the real question is, can I? Before we start the run, we must do two things first. 1. Go over the rules, and 2. Suffer greatly at the hands of the randomizer run. Hold on, wait. I meant 2. Create our character. This is already off to a great start. The rules are pretty simple. Rule 1. Any white, purple, gold shiny I see, I must pick up. Rule 2. Whatever that shiny has been randomized into, I must use it or find a new one. Rule 3. I can summon spirit ashes. I mean, I do see them, I do pick them up, and I can use them. It's logical progression. Rule 5. Upgrading is good. Rule 6. Farming is good. It only happens once, so I'll forgive myself for that, even if you won't forgive me. Okay, so... Wait. No, I lied. There is thing number 1.5 that I must do. I have to tell you about the randomizer a bit. This randomizer works differently from previous Souls game randomizers, I think at least. It does randomize every item in the game excluding materials found in the world and key items. However, it also randomizes the upgrade level of an item once you get one of your items upgraded. So, if I upgrade a Rivers of Blood to +10, that counts as a +25 normal weapon and randomizes the upgrade level between +1 to +25. That's all. And now it is time for the character creation. Give me a little bit of privacy for a second, okay? Thank you. Aha! What do you think? Is she beautiful? Oh, come on, don't lie, you know she is. But let's not get into how absolutely incredible I am at sculpting the flesh like it were marble, and my last name were Da Vinci, and it were the Renaissance. No, instead let's just start the game. I do start off as a wretch, because just look at that face. There's no way I'm anything other than a wretch. What, I got the definition for wretch wrong? Oh well. I awaken, locked within a church that looks suspiciously like a church, and I promise you, when I get out of here, there's gonna be chaos. But first, I have to pick up my first item. It's the same. Yeah, the key items are definitely kept the same. It keeps you from getting soft locked. Before I can begin my carnage through the lands between, I have to home run this scion back to the void it leapt from.
What's up?
Or actually, come to think of it, no, I don't think I will. I'm willingly choosing to let this one go. Skipping the Soldier of Godric in all his undying glory, I make it to my first set of randomized items. Whatever could it be? Radagon's hammer weapon? Or Radagon's helmet? Nope, neither. It's a golden rune and 5 somber smithing stone 8s. Well, you can't win them all. With the tutorial section out of the way, it is time to set foot into the lands between and begin my ultimate, never-ending hatred for all things organized and ordered. Now begins. Starting off with a bit of confusion, I had no idea where to actually start. Obviously, there was the tree sentinel I could put the maws on, but I had a feeling I might get my ass kicked. So instead, I begin at the summoning statue. Apparently, the omniscient and chaotic deity I will call the Game Destroyer is already feeling sorry for me, because he so graciously hands me a golden seed in these trying times. Thank you, GD. I'll certainly be using that one later. Eventually, I decide it's best to visit Kabaj and see what's in store for me there. No pun intended. I learn that not only are the merchant shops also going to be randomized, but it dawns on me that buying the items from the shop here, aside from the crafting kit, would be cheating. No buying. Not allowed. Retroactively put that in the rules. Number 7. No buying. My first stop is to wherever I can find a weapon, or armor, or any items worth a damn at all. So I stomp my beautiful face and tone dabs all the way to the Stormfoot catacombs, and I break every animal cruelty law in the process of murdering a dog and everything inside of this catacomb. Actually, that dog kind of looks like a cat. Maybe I'm not breaking any laws after all. I don't know what it is anymore. Regardless, I get a sick gold mask, probably once owned by the dude named Gold Mask, and the search for a weapon goes on. Or really, even upgrade materials. So, with caution lost out of the passenger car window and the map burning in my lap because my grandpa won't turn the AC on but closed the window after I lost caution by accident, I have to sit here and feel the scalding pain of the sun glaring through the front windshield with the heat turned on all the way to 11. Where was that going in relevance to the run? Nowhere. nowhere at all. Oh, and I talked to Melina and get my goat pony. Oh, the things we shall experience, Melina. With a means of travel, that doesn't involve burning calves, by the way. I do a little trolling with Margit, the definitely only appearance he has, and I get to work doing what I gotta do. And what I gotta do is get good. So I get sucked up to the round hold table instead, check a look at the place, and get some new pants in the meantime. And then head back to 1v1 the man of the hour. Jump attacks are my best friend. I'd argue they're a man's best friend, because I'm a man, and they're my best friend. Next, I seek the man named Godric. But I'll need some upgrades first. It's best to search the castle like a serial looter on Christmas Eve. So many presents, so little time. Too bad most of them turn out to be the wrong kind of material. If this were Fortnite, I'd be on my way to a victory royale. I don't actually know, I don't play Fortnite. What I do play is the game of Pog. Wanna know why? Well, lucky for you, I'm gonna tell you, because I managed to steal myself a sick butcher's knife in the room where I get trapped by Gostok. And upon killing the knight to get myself out, I immediately lose it. I am no longer playing the game of Pog. I do get a stone club though, so I'm 50% pogging right now. Then I lose that 20 seconds later by getting a longbow from a shitter on the ramparts. No more pog here. Bad news bears is that I don't have any arrows yet. Good news bears is that Godric is nowhere to be seen as of right now. It is a good thing he is not seeking me. And Stormville has a lot of piercing yet to experience, if you catch my drift. But if not, what you should catch is my drip after I find a sick pair of khakis and loafers.
Goddamn right.
Eventually, I managed to find a new weapon, and I so brazenly think that perhaps it is best to fight Godric now. Perchance. So let's check out the damage.
What?
12 damage per hit on a pot baby. That's no problem. Wait. Yes, it is. After struggling entirely in vain to find a new weapon for a good while, I take on a leg-bone sailor and his gaunt, thin, gangly crew to get a heaping pile of bones, and can you guess the third one? I bet you can't. Frenzy stones. With the rage building inside of me and my desire for chaos being destroyed by a complete lack of weaponry forcefully shoved into my hand so I can cry while fighting bosses, it's time to go to church once again to seek God. At that church, God grants me a scythe that requires faith. I probably should have guessed that. I can't wield it though because I don't have faith. And worse yet, I got invaded by a nun with a bloodlust. She knows I'm a godless freak. And it doesn't go well. But I prevail eventually, and now it's Godric time. Well, this just won't do. So it appears I have to deal with this while killing some other bosses. Off to Coastal Cave to try out my plan. Hopefully, just hopefully, I'll find a weapon that I prefer. Oh, well shit. That'll do. A cold pickaxe? Big bonk plus big burr? Godric is going down. This'll be over lickety split. After a quick practice run, of course. Now it'll be over. Okay, no. Now it's over. I refuse to give up the rest of my death tickets to buy a shitty inflatable skull from an over-the-counter wannabe college grad who has no aspirations in life and is stuck working at a shitty Chuck E. Cheese. We're not sponsored by Chuck E. Cheese, by the way. Good news at the end of it all as well. The great runes and remembrances are also completely randomized. So no divine towers or extra stats for me, I guess. My next goal is Renala, simply because I plan on respecking my skill points later on should it be necessary. Spoiler alert, it will. So I stuff my head inside a Scarab Beetle's empty head socket at Rose Church, pick up the Academy Glintstone key, beat the shit out of Bumberdick Cumbersome Hatch, and jive walk my way into the Academy to work out somewhere other than the gym for once. I do the typical rounds of picking up items to see if I get screwed over or experience Nirvana in video game form, and decide to say fuck this and check out another area instead. Wow, if you didn't think I had ADD before, this run is really going to make you question that. I don't need knowledge, what I need is something far richer. I need a puppet. A blue puppet. Perhaps this puppet has a lupinous companion. And no, I don't mean plant-like either. No, what I truly mean is Best Girl must be spoken to. I had already spoken to her for the Spirit Collar Bell, another non-randomized item, but now I must become her consort. The only thing in my way, however, is not just Carrion Manor and its many hand-spider freakazoids. Instead, it is Loretta. Loretta Stone, Royal Knight, and Royal Pain in my ass. Well, Okay, alright, I guess Ronnie can wait. I don't need her anyway. Back to the academy after all. After a lot of exploring, I still own the majority stock in Cold Pickaxe. Completely surprised that I haven't been bought out by Elon Musk just yet. It's proving itself to be quite the powerful ally. Even the Red Wolf of Radagon shows no match for the sheer unthawable power of the axe. Who would have thought that a pickaxe to the head would hurt a wolf that badly? From here, it's a straight shot to Renala because boy oh boy, I have nothing else to do at this moment in time. Nothing else besides get absolutely destroyed by Renala's summon. Just kidding! Fuck this magic bitch. Cross her off my list. We're done here. I've now unlocked Altus Plateau. Well, it was never locked in the first place, but regardless, it's high time I pack up and move. Weird. I just got flashbacks. So I ascend high into the sky, then descend deep into the mine, then ascend again into the sky, very high, then descend again, deep, again, in the mine, I think. I might be lost. I didn't exactly bring a map with me. All I know is that there are multiple times in this cave where I'd nab myself a new weapon, or I get diagnosed with pure, unadulterated, chronic pain, primarily through poison. Towards the end of the caves, I make the grave mistake of looking back to see the slew of bodies I've built to my name. This results in me, unfortunately, picking up a fucking dagger. I mean, a beautiful dagger. A definitely beautiful dagger. Please don't smite me, Game Destroyer. I beg of you. I repent. Using my dagger, I decide to cheese the boss fight against the spice-addicted Makar. The tempting idea of licking my dagger's blade to intimidate Makar crosses my mind, but I forgot it was poisonous. One lick and I'm poisoned. And I don't have any more poison-resisting mothballs either. But Makar seems to be made of them, because holy shit, poisoning him is tough, and it does not do a lot of damage. So, way over yonder, across the lands between, I decide to head back to the marsh surrounding the academy to seek out new prizes. What new prizes, you may ask? This. It's almost like I knew it was there. Too bad I didn't, otherwise I would have picked it up earlier without struggling to poison Makar. But now it seems that Makar can meet his maker. Huh? Taken down by a fat, rolling Papa Smurf impersonator. That's gotta sting. But now after defeating him, I'm just wearing this shirt that says I took down the magma worm Makar and all I got was this lousy staff. I can't even use it. Great. Thankfully, this is my only concern in life, as I have an all-expenses-paid trip to the Altus Plateau now. Thank you to the sponsor of this video, not a real sponsor, the only MMO that wastes your time just as much as mine for paying for this trip. I got to find me a new weapon. The staff and its measly bonk damage ain't gonna cut it. It's a good thing I find a bouquet of roses in a cave on the other side of the planet because maybe I can woo a weapon into existence. I decide to exploit the system that I've been placed in here since the game wants me to play like this. Returning to the round table hold, I upgrade my bouquet of roses to a +9. That way, the rest of the weapons I find can be anywhere between a +0 to a +24 normal weapon, or a +0 to a +9 unique weapon. However, I still can't use this weapon, so I have to show myself to Shifra River, and of course it gives me no loot to brag about. So I teleport to Mog's Great Palace in the underground sky and seek out the greatness known as a better fucking weapon. And I manage to find one in the form of Vike's War Spear. I can't wield it though, so I decide to farm a bit, because well, why not? I'm not breaking the run rules. I still have the other weapon equipped after all. I just have a longbow in my second weapon slot. And after a bit of farming, I'm good to go. And almost immediately, the farming was for nothing, because I get a new weapon. A weapon I will become very familiar with later because it shows up quite a few times to ruin my fun. After doing a little grinding off screen, I continue to explore the Altus Plateau in hopes of finding weapons I can use, or perhaps a shield that isn't as heavy as the weight of my regrets in life. I find myself traversing the great caves in the sky and the ground, searching to my wits' end to obtain a weapon to be worthy of. Everything only continues to stack atop my back, breaking each section of my spine with a louder and louder crack until... Fuck. This painful feeling in each of my ankles as I continue to walk my way through the rest of this cave is beginning to become as commonplace as the obnoxious cracking sound that follows the pain. That is, until I find my safety. Never before in my life have I ever been so satisfied to see something so meager as a glintstone sorcery staff at the bottom of a giant hole. But needless to say, it's a shield-only run for the time being, for the next couple of hours. Can you beat Elden Ring with only a shield for a couple of hours of gameplay? So I smack and I smack and I thwack and I clunk and I bonk and I bank until I finally find a new weapon hiding inside Carrion Manor. This weapon is going to be a savior. A plus 20 tree spear, thank the Lord. Excitedly, I open the equipment menu to find out how much damage this occult weapon will do, and... What is this? No. And my shield isn't even my big smashy smash shield anymore either. Oh, fuck. And I can't change the Ash of War to alleviate myself of this madness either? I've done it. I've become the Joker. Is it time for a training montage to find a new weapon? A lot of struggling through just using great shields, and anything else that deals even a smidgen more damage than the Cypher Pata leads me to some mighty fine scenery, if I do say so myself. Nothing worthwhile at the end of the day, because I continue to get absolutely jack shit. Up to his shins in muck, a garbage weapon in his right hand and a great shield that's hardly worth a damn in his left. What is it that your intrepid hero decides that he should do? Why, fight Radon, of course, why wouldn't he? It's honestly a lot easier than I thought, especially because I summoned phantoms. I went into this with that plan because there is no way I'll be able to use my glorified middle finger. However, right at the start of the fight, I managed to yoink a great mace. Then I immediately replaced it with a spear. Sorry, a tree. Not a tree spear, that already exists. I already had it. I never want to see another tree spear again in my life. Just a tree. As a reward, I get Radon's great rune. This is actually sweet. I should go and do the thing where I turn it in to get the activated version of a great rune.
So that was a fucking lie.
Or not. More exploring through Volcano Manor with a special appearance from Rosas' axe, the lovable little shit, ends with me gaining much more weight than I anticipated. So, with a belly so big and heavy that it's practically made out of metal and a series of allergies toward good, viable, and useful weaponry, it is time to bring on a sentinel of bad ideas. The first stop on my city spelunking road trip plans is getting a shockingly electric back massage from a man in dragon bone armor. Or it could be a woman. I only say it's a man because the technique was absolutely horrendous and he put too much pressure on my spine and not enough focus on the muscles around it. Only a man could be that rough. With a new but very off-balance spring in my step, I swan dive off of the ledge to skip the singing, humming, and hawing of the Orbulent fellas. Orbulent isn't actually a word, but I will make it a word. It now means to take on an orb shape. Use it. While traversing the city, I window shop around and pick up a few items. I don't pay for any of them because this is the lands between. I have the freedom to take what I want, when I want. I'm gifted many things as well, like a staff that I can't use, a magic sword that is unusable solely because of my lack of IQ points, and somewhere along the way, I find some dungbed seed curses. However, the most notable of my prizes, perhaps second to the Mask of Kings alone, is a bastard sword. And I can actually use it. Wait, I can actually use it? So I'll take it to Godfrey's spiritual face and give the bastard what he's owed. A sword. My bastard sword. It doesn't really work out all that well at first, given my sudden uptick in deaths by +1. So after another attempt, and after I embarrass the Golden Spirit out of the Golden Spirit, it is time to fight Margit Part 2, Morgott Boogaloo. And oh man, this fight is definitely a boogaloo. I'll admit that while this fight is kind of divisive amongst the community as a fight filled with crazy fast moves and an equal amount of crazy delayed attacks, it's awesome. This fight is among my favorite boss fights in the game, following Melania in first place, Godfrey Prime in second, and being followed by Radagon in fourth. In the end, all it takes is my first try, and I'm down to clown with the snowy hills beyond Lanedell. Melina gives me a medallion that she apparently had the entire time. Maybe she should have just given it to me from the very start and we could expedite this process a little bit. You know, burning the Erd tree is probably a good way to force Morgott out of Lane. No, actually, Morgott was blocking us out of Lanedell in the first place, so we wouldn't have been able to get through there. Anyway, Frost Dragon, My bastard sword has a serrated edge, making this fight significantly easier than it should be. So, tally-ho, young sport, see you in the afterlife. The fire giant proves to be nothing more than a big little bitch with a serious temper issue. Smacking away at his, probably, not actually fleshy body proves a simple task for my bloody bastard sword. Ew. Ew, damn. I feel British saying that. I think I need a new weapon soon. All I get is this lousy cookbook from the fire giant though, so maybe I can make a pepper gun for the many roads ahead. At least if I had a gun I wouldn't be very British, would I? On my new quest to find a brand new weapon, or a brand new shield that isn't a broken stock piece that I would sooner use around my head than brandish in battle properly, I burn the world down. Scratch that, I watch as Melina burns the world down. Oh boy, is she gonna wish she hadn't done that later. Pyromania is my middle name. Jack Pyromania Son. It has a special ring to it, honestly. I might change brands to include it. No, it's not that special. Perhaps a different version of Pyromania, like a synonym? Jack Arson Son? Jack Firebombing Son? Jack Dark Horse Son? Jack Incineration Son? Jack Candescence Son? Nah, none of them are doing it for me. Oh, hey, the cutscene's over. The burning is now a thing of the past. I won't think about it ever again. No promises, though. What lies next is tumultuous disgust for what could be the defining boss fight. If the word we're defining is, I don't know, garbage, annoying, bad, disgusting, aggravating, annoying, idiotic, substandard, inferior, stupid, annoying, laughable, diabolical, rotten, abysmal, miserable, hopeless, you get the point. I don't need an entire dictionary to put into words this entire next fight. I try a few times, but eventually I seek out new, better gear, and I solemnly return to my fate. The Godskin duo. Quite possibly the... Oh, I don't have the footage of me beating them. Just 15 minutes worth of attempts that all ended in failure. It took longer than 15 minutes, that's for sure. So let me do a brief showcase with poorly drawn versions of the duo. On my successful attempt, I summoned Recusant Bernal because, may as well. I'm using what I see after all. I enter the fight and begin by rolling through every attack I must, including the Black Flame spam. Bernal takes the aggro of the skinny schmuck while I tango with the tubby Tosno. He ends up spamming his weapon art, which heals him a lot, thus keeping him alive so I may struggle in my own time. I whittle down the health of my own personal white-robed adversary. Bernal and I continue to pepper, with my pepper gun, the one that I crafted, yeah. And we beat and batter and bruise and battle and belittle the two Dorkskin God Hunters at their own game. And all I get for it is this lousy flail. Oh, the humanity. And now back to your regularly scheduled programming. It is time to carry on to Malekith. I shall use this next boss fight as my thesis as to why furries that roleplay about being as edgy as a member of Organization 13 are the lowest of the low. First, before I can prove anything, I actually have to get to the boss fight. Okay, wow, that was easier than I remember it being. But it is now time for my thesis to ascend me past a doctorate and achieve a mass doctorate to lore. I don't even know if I said that right. It's a combination of a master's, a doctorate, and a bachelor's. Its acronym is MPHBD. Soon you can call me Mr. Dr. Son. Or maybe I can find a better way to prove my thesis in as effective a manner as I can, so it's time for more weapon shopping. In Alabaster Lord Sword +7? Nah, not my kind of thing. It also makes me incredibly fat. Pass. Wing of Estelle +8? It's cool looking, I guess, but I have a distinct phobia to curved swords that look like insect wings. They have no reason to exist, just like tassels on a pair of loafers. Or really anything except for laces or zippers when it comes to shoes. Who uses Velcro anymore? A heavy dagger +10. I appreciate the gesture, but it's kind of insulting that you'd think I need a heavy dagger. You think I'm that muscular? Yeah, right. Fire Iron Ball +9? I do like punching things really hard. And I do like balls. Wait, don't take that out of context. These'll do.
become my blade once more.
Maybe his balls are bigger and better than mine. So back to Shifa River. I know there are still plenty of items I haven't found here, and one such item is a neat little sword with a spinny mixed spinny weapon art. Yum. This is gonna be delicious. Back to Malekith we go, to smash our head into a wall over and over again. Okay, no. If I did the funny haha where I showed a death clip every time I said "and over again," we'd be here for quite a while. And the editing on this video is already gonna take a while. Let's just say it took an hour and a half. It took longer than that, but let's just say it only took an hour and a half. Mimic Tier really fucked up my first impressions of this boss fight for real. To be fair, while I was fighting him this whole time, I was participating in a Dungeons & Dragons campaign. So it's totally and completely viable that I'd get my shit rock, shocked, and rolled for as long as I was. But I do end up bringing out the whoop ass on King Edgelord McFurry, and I take his Rune of Death for my own. I shall now be chaotic evil and ruin the game for the rest of the party. Now Sir Gideon Ofnir. He's quite the interesting tale. You see, I skipped him, using the Gideon speedrunning skip. I'm not here to fight a magic spammer in PvP with my weapon. Fuck that. Now Godfrey, first Elden Lord, is quite the more interesting tale. I intend to fight him with a different weapon, as fighting him with the Dancing Blade is, rough to say the least. So to Noxtella I go, where I unearthed something pretty exciting. Finally! A weapon that I can upgrade and change Ashes of War on. But if you've learned anything from this run so far, it's very heartbreaking, and any good weapon I find quickly is killed off screen in the worst possible writing twist ever. It is a version of my own damn self that betrays me, as if it were all a man versus self message in a shitty B-movie horror flick. The Mimic Tier boss fight forcefully tears my hopes and dreams of an actually decent weapon and replaces it instead with a crystal spear that I can't even use. And as if that B-movie horror flick were to gain a massive cult following and an actual, beautifully crafted sequel 30 years later, I soon after find an even grander, better, and more important MacGuffin for my impetuously crafted means. I don't have the microphone recording, but I audibly shouted, "Fuck yes!" when I found my Naginata. I also remember thinking about making a joke about how the Naginata was the same shape as my penis when I first found it, but I have no clue what the hell that would have led to, and I have no clue why I thought about that first. So, Godfrey beware, I am approaching very rapidly. Into Godfrey's boss fight I go with a beautiful skip in my step, with a goal in mind, and the final part of the game before my very eyes. It all ends here. I've never felt a boss fight fly by so quickly. I first tried this boss fight on my first run with the Mimic Tier, pre-nerf, and even then, this felt somehow easier. Oh. Oh no.
I hate this channel.
No! No! There will be
Another domino falls, and the final step of this incredibly complex Rube Goldberg machine remains. They must not have set up this machine properly because I am much worse at this next fight than I thought I was. I walked into this expecting it to be easy. I could finish it as though it were a double chocolate cake on my birthday. Needless to say, I did not beat him first try. I lost a lot of my footage fighting Radagon. It all got corrupted. I'll tell you I spent around 2 hours fighting him, each recording session lasting, give or take an hour, maybe less. And I racked up maybe, perhaps, perchance, possibly 30 to 40 deaths-ish, maybe 50, hopefully not 50. And I think all is lost, that is until a special friend finds their way back into my hands and all of our hearts. After the unmistakably bad Radagon incident of 1994, which changed my life forever by the way, don't joke about it, I returned to Noxtella once more. This time, however, it is the valiant gargoyles' turn to be laughed at. After I smashed their stone whatever genitalia in with my Naginata, I nab a longsword from the Johnny Depp root depths, then replace it immediately with a rotten crystal sword. These crystal weapons really like messing up my mojo. Then, resting gracefully upon a large piece of root, perhaps Johnny Depp's right pinky toe, I find it, Rosis's axe. The one weapon that has been plaguing my run twice before, no actually 3 times, I didn't show you a 3rd time, snuffing out good weapons to point out my laughably bad intelligence score, is the weapon that I've been granted to fight Radagon with. Well, I have nowhere else to go, really, or I don't want to go anywhere else, and I'm running low on time in real life to record this, so sure. And oh boy, did I not realize what I was in store for. Yeah, I still died. This axe kinda sucks, but as my great second cousin's third uncle once told me at a family reunion 15 or 20 years ago, if at first you don't succeed, maybe you just suck. And you know what? I took that to heart, damn it. So I trained, and I trained, and I trained, and I trained more until... You better believe I did it. Who would have thought that Rosis's axe is the one thing that would bring me to victory? I am blessed by its majesty. If only I had leveled intelligence that whole time, perhaps I would have been done sooner. But wait, do you hear that? What is this strange feeling I have inside my heart? I can't mend the shattered Elden Ring yet. I can't marry Marika and give my life to do whatever it is she wants me to do. This surge of intelligence is giving me an odd feeling, a strange scratch in the back of my head. I know what I must do. Earlier, I found 4 seedbed curses. I only require 1 more to finish Poo Poo Platter's questline and bring a curse of despair and ruin onto the lands between. The knowledge falters soon as I realize I could have a million items in my way before I find even 1 more seedbed curse. My first stop is Castle Sol, to fight Nile Jackson, the Lightning Thief. It does not end well for him. No. It does. Wait, it does. It doesn't end well for me. Next is the Crucible Knight and the Misbegotten Warrior. After a short jaunt through Easyville, population 0 after today's incident, I don't get the seedbed curse. Nothing in the Althus Plateau other than NPC invaders, the return of an insulting weapon, the cipher pot of +9, and the embarrassing lack of seedbed curses. You understand my plights this far in with the search for the downfall of the lands between, but then I recall an encounter I had earlier in the run. I didn't cover it in the script because I had hilariously failed in my attempts to actually beat the boss. Plus, I had only tried the boss because I wanted to show a friend who wanted to know what the boss was like in the first place. That's a lot of excuses for just saying I suck. But seedbed curses are now the least of my desires. Ooh, the high intelligence once again burns within my skull. So it is time to visit Mog the Omen. Not the blood, Omen Lord, King, whatever. And the fate of the lands between is closer than ever before. All shall know what I experienced on my run. Mog proves a worthy foe, for now, but I prove to be an even worthier foe. For breaking his spirit and his horns, I have been granted true guidance. Slaying him grants me access to the realms beneath his forsaken church. And from there, it's a short drop to my destination, but first I must strip. Am I breaking the rules of the run? What? No! I've already beaten all the bosses I intend to fight with the randomized gear I was given. There's not even any items down here for me to grab. But now, the run is technically over. So I can do this. And from my naked form, my fate is sealed. Melina burnt herself so I may enter the Erd Tree, and now with her gone, becoming the frenzied lord will bear no danger. This is the ultimate form of chaos.
Bury the light deep within. Cast aside, there's no coming home. We're burning chaos in the wind. Drifting in the ocean. La, la, la.
And with that, I beat Elden Ring with every item, mostly randomized. I certainly hope you enjoyed the video, and the adventure within. I would say I did, but I can remember a few times where I didn't. So let's just say 70% of the adventure was enjoyable, I guess. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, the typical YouTube spiel. It's not like I can force you to do it though. You could even dislike if you wanted. My name was Jack, and it always has been. And remember, if everything is random, then nothing is. No, that's a stupid thing to say. Things are still really random. Stay lucky.